Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to today's new arrival. You know, once in a while we get cars in that have pretty expensive builds to them. You know, 50, 60, 80, approaching the $100,000 mark. This car here has an expensive build to it. It's significant in quality, but a lot of it is hidden in the car, and the only people that are really going to know about it are true car guys and the guy who owns his car and drives it. And you don't have to be a true car guy to enjoy this car, because first off, it's great looking, and anybody who has a pair of eyes will look at it and go, wow, that's a great car, regardless of whether they like cars or not. The flames on this car, I'm not a huge flames person, but they're so subtly done and so elegantly done and so professionally done that I think they look spectacular. And with the louvers here, it kind of breaks things up a little bit, so you get a little bit of the old school, a little bit of the new school, and as we walk around the car, you'll see some updates and things like that that's out of the modern cars too. So let's take a peek at what we have. Check this out here. Beautiful set of Billet specialties alloys with high-speed nittos on there. You know, high-speed nittos are expensive tires, and we like to talk about the quality that people put into these things here. We're talking about disc brakes. They're power disc brakes. They're hidden underneath these wheels here. And one thing that's going to be tough to see in the back is that this has a Dana in it. A Dana 60 rear end, which has been shortened and made to fit in here. So this car is designed to lay down the power properly. You know, you can build a great big engine with a lot of horsepower and things like that. You can even throw in a good transmission. But some people forget that you can get all that power into the car, but if it won't lay it down on the ground, it does no good. Here's a cool thing about it. This car has been tubbed in the rear, and you can't really tell. So for instance, the rear set of tires that are on there are 295s. It can actually hold a set of 345, same size you get on a Viper or a Lamborghini, okay? Or a set of 15 by 12 or 15 by 15s, center lines in there. And so it's pretty cool because it's hidden, and this is a nice look for the car, and then you can go with a bigger set of wheels and tires if you wanted to. I don't know if you need to, but it just looks great. Anyway, I love the paint on this car. You know, we talk about quality of paint. Check out the quality of paint on this car. Let me find you a little bit of light that you can read in. See how nice and clear all the writing is on here? The video doesn't lie. You know, it's amazing paint. Not only is it amazing paint, but everything on the car is super smooth. You can't feel the flames that are underneath there. There's a slight amount of metallic in the paint, and I just think that it's an original kind of color too, with a little bit of modern update to it. And it's just subtle enough to be still classic, but with a performance flair. And here's where we start with the performance flair. Not only is the paint and body spectacular, you're talking somewhere in the $10,000 to $12,000 range to paint a car at this level. To go ahead and do all the chrome, including these great bumpers on the car. Now these bumpers are not cheesy repros. These are real triple-plated chrome bumpers. And you can imagine the chrome and stainless to do on a 57 can approach the $8,000 mark and take 6 to 8 months to get done. All of that's been done for you already. You're going to have to send the hood out, get it punched and louvered. So the reason I keep talking about this stuff is because that's where a lot of the money is tied up in restoring a car. Let's take a peek under here for a minute. Although this looks like a Corvette 2-port injected motor, it's actually built by Street & Performance. Street & Performance is who we buy a lot of our things from. Also here, when we're go ahead and we're putting in upgraded power plants, injected power plants into classic cars. They truly are the leader when it comes to having the right equipment, making things work properly. This car here, man, you hit the key, fire it up, and forget about it. It just starts, whether it's you know, 20 degrees outside or whether it's 120 outside. It just runs really well. Nice big aluminum radiator right here, built by Howe, and it's a hand-built radiator. It's designed to fit inside this space here on the 57, but be nice and thick, with a big pusher fan here and a puller fan on that side. So this guy here definitely cruised this car, and he wanted to make sure that the car didn't overheat, because nothing is more frustrating than breaking down on a cruise while the car is overheating. And that's really the kind of car you want to buy. Somebody who's driven their car, got out the bugs, right, and has gone to shows and things like that, and knows when he goes to shows, he wants it to look right. For instance, electric wipers. You know, these were standard with vacuum wipers, and when you have these engines like here that make good power, you know, this motor here makes a little over 400 horsepower, you know, you don't have a lot of vacuum. And you still need the vacuum for the upgraded power brake system. You're not going to have enough vacuum to run the wipers when you come to a stoplight. If you come to a stoplight, the wipers that were doing this will now be doing this. And that's how you eliminate that, by going to electric wipers. Okay? Let's take a peek inside the interior for a minute, because the interior is really beautifully done. Two looks for you guys. We have a beautiful billet and a leather wrapped steering wheel in gray to match the rest of the car, or we can keep the old school steering wheel on here if you like, your choice, but either one of them is good. This also has a hydraulic parking brake. Because with the Dana 60 set up in the rear end and not being super easy to convert to cables and things like that, this customer went ahead and installed an electric parking brake so that if you wanted to, you could do that. It is an automatic transmission, and it is a Turbo 400, by the way. It's a professionally built Turbo 400, designed to handle the 400 plus horsepower, and the Dana was designed to back up all that power. But anyway, it has that also. Autometer gauges, they fit beautifully in the custom dash. Got an upgraded Pioneer sound system. If you want to, we can put a stock radio back in that hole, and we can bury the digital sound system in the glove box for you. Beautiful two-tone gray cloth interior, matching door panels, all new headliner here. The car's showing 1,711 miles since its restoration. So you can imagine it hasn't been on a lot. It takes roughly 1,000 miles to really sort out a car properly. So this car has not been driven very far. At the end of the day, it's just new handles, new window cranks, new mechanisms in here, new frames that were taken out and recoated, pieces of trim that you can't buy anymore, sent out and replated. And just the quality of it. And one cool thing about these cars here is they really do hold 6 people comfortably. Look how beautiful the back is done. Sound system, put in the rear shelf properly. I want to show you one other thing. I wanted to show you the trunk. The trunk is awesome in this car. This is awesome, typical 57 Bel Air with the gold package here, which still looks great. We talked about the chroming quality of the bumpers. This has the purple dots in here, so then you ever wondered why the brake lights that come on some cool cars look purplish? That's the reason why they do that. It's not that the lenses are purple, it's just that the center of them are got the purple dotted on them. Like I said, this car has been tubbed and you wouldn't have known it because it still has a rear seat in it. So you can put a giant set of tires in there if you wanted to, or we can run with what there's right now. It's got a fuel cell right here with a fuel sending unit. And the trunk is beautifully detailed. Nicely painted inside here. All the latches have been chromed. One of the things you might not know, some of you will, some of you won't, but the reason the fuel cell is moved up here is because of the suspension and everything underneath. We have the Dana 60 rear end, which is a super big, heavy duty rear end that typically wouldn't fit in this car. Then on top of it, they put the 4-link coil suspension in there so that everything is in there nice and tight, that it won't move, and it also still rides well. And then they have a great exhaust wrapped all up in there, so there's really not much room left for a gas tank. So what they do is, for safety reasons, because these are significantly safer than a regular fuel tank, and the reason why is because they're filled with foam. So if you were to actually cut this thing wide open, the gas wouldn't come spewing out. It's actually suspended inside in foam. And a lot of people don't go through the extra steps of adding a fuel gauge to the car because it's a little difficult, but this customer did here, which makes it really nice. That way you know still how much gas is in the car. Closing up this video here, we're talking about a 57 in Bahama blue, spectacular paint, all new chrome, 4-wheel disc brakes, fuel injected motor built by Street and Performance, Dana 60 rear, Turbo 400. You know, all the goodies that are very expensive, that are brand names, that continue to work for today's performance cars, race cars, and true pro touring cars. We're very proud to present this 57 to you. Today, you can call us at 301-816-1000, and we'll tell you all about it.